Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna everyone. So let's start today. Little early we'll start because it's 18th chapter. There are many shlokas. So this is like a wrap up of all Bhagavad Gita. You know, we just wrap after all the chapters. So this includes all of the. Actually, in 17th chapter itself, Krishna concluded whole Bhagavad Gita. In the 18th chapter, he just brings all the topics, whatever he discussed in the whole Bhagavad Gita, to an end. So this is the end chapter. So what is the perfection of renunciation? That's moksha sannyasa yoga. So yesterday somebody was asking about moksha. So let's know what is moksha. Even living in this world, how can we get moksha? That's liberation from all other activities by doing activities to Krishna. So in this chapter, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 topics. So first is freedom from the bondage of karma yoga. As we discussed, as I said, the whole Bhagavad Gita itself is summarized in this whole chapter. So Krishna starts with karma yoga, right, in Bhagavad Gita. So here also the starting of this topic is from first shloka to the 12th shloka. Krishna is going to speak about karma yoga. After that comes about the 5 factors of action, again relating to karma yoga. Then the mode controls everything. Then purification of varnashrama dharma. And then again Krishna brings here varnashrama dharma that we discussed in the 5th or 6th chapter, 5th chapter maybe. And after that the Brahman platform, that's confidential knowledge. And then the pure bhakti, right? And in the end of every chapter, Krishna says about the bhakti yoga. So here also 18th chapter, end of this chapter, end of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says you do bhakti yoga, that's it, right? He decides, he makes Arjuna convinced to do bhakti yoga. He makes Arjuna convinced to do fight. For whom Arjuna is fighting? For the pleasure of Krishna. Krishna wanted this fight to happen. Krishna wanted the dharma to win. So Arjuna had to obey Krishna's order, right? So that comes in devotional service, obeying the orders of the Lord. So then Krishna gives the conclusion, the full stop for this whole Bhagavad Gita. And Sanjay also speaks some words about what he felt after knowing Bhagavad Gita, what Arjuna felt after knowing the knowledge about Bhagavad Gita. So here 18.1, Arjuna says, Arjuna uvacha sanyasasya mahabaho tvamichim ichchami veditum त्यागस्य च ऋषिकेशा पृथक् केशिनि सूदना. Who is Keshini Sudana? That's Krishna, the killer of the demon Keshi. Okay, so he is called as Rishikesha, he is called as Keshini Sudana. So why Arjuna is using this word Keshini Sudana? Because Keshi was the demon who entered Vrindavan. Similarly, Arjuna is telling, similar kind of demon called doubt has entered inside my mind. So please destroy that doubt, oh Krishna. So he wants to resemble the Keshi to the doubts that he has in his mind. So Arjuna says, "O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of the renunciation and the renounced order of life." If you see the whole Bhagavad Gita, it's between this renunciation order of life, sannyasa, tyaga, karma yoga, karma sannyasa. Why so much it is there? Because detachment, sannyasa means what? You're detaching, you're renouncing. But but Krishna says, what is yours to renounce? If I have something, I can give it up, right? But nothing belongs to me. So what do I renounce? I have nothing to renounce. But then what can I do to not get entangled? Because when we do activities, we get entangled, right? Normally, if you see, you do some activities, you involve yourself in that activity, first of all. Then the result comes, results also affect your life, right? That's how the activities and the results come. So to get detached, either you should not do your activity, either what you can do is you can do your activity, but you should not be attached to the activity. That means you should know who is the real one behind all my activities. That's Krishna, right? His energy is, everything is energy. That's why Krishna is again and again using the word renunciation does not mean leaving everything and going. Renunciation here simply means karma yoga, means do your activity in favor to devotional service. That's the actual way. That's why whole Bhagavad Gita again and again it's saying, because in Kali Yuga renunciation is not approved. To be honestly saying, in Kali Yuga there is nothing called as sannyasa, because it's very difficult. That's why if you see in ISKCON, very less member take sannyas, very less members. Why? Because it's very difficult task. One who is controlling all their senses can only take that sannyas, tridandi sannyas. But it's not practical for everyone in Kali Yuga. That's why Arjuna's question again and again, because Bhagavad Gita is meant for people in Kali Yuga, right? That's why Arjuna's question again and again asking about renunciation, because he knows in Kali Yuga we can't be renounced. We can't be renounced. So what can we do? We can divert our actions to Krishna. Rather than making actions to ourselves, our senses, our gratification, we can divert our senses, divert our activities to Krishna's senses, Krishna's sense gratification, not our own sense gratification. So what does Krishna says here? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha kamyanam karmanam nyasam sanyasam kavayo vidu sarva karma phalatyagam prahustyagam vichakshata. So Krishna is saying sarva karma phalatyagam. Sannyasa, you need not take to give up the results of all the activities. It's called renunciation. By the wise, that means to give up the results of the activities. That's tyaga. The state of what it is called as renounced. One who is renouncing, he is called as sannyasa. And what he is renouncing, that's what we do as sacrifice, right? That's tyaga. So Krishna says, what we can do is sarva karma phalatyagam, right? In the third chapter, in the fifth chapter, in the 18th chapter, this chapter, again and again Krishna is speaking about sarva karma phalatyagam. He is not saying that sarva karma tyagam. He is saying sarva karma phalatyagam. That means give up your results rather than giving up the whole activity. You do activity, but you should know why you are doing activity. Are you doing just because of fame, name, followers, or all this? Or you're doing for Krishna's purpose, for your own self-realization, you're doing this. You should know the motive behind why you are doing that. So that's very important. So learnment declares that all kinds of fruitive activities should be given up. But there are yet other sages who maintain the acts of sacrifice, charity, finances, and should never be abandoned. That means your activity should be given up, but your acts should not be abandoned. Right? Krishna says both. You have to give up your activity, but then you should not, you should never abandon. So that's kind of a confusion for everyone, right? in Kali Yuga, most of them, they say you should be renounced. What is that famous shloka? Uh, Akarmakra. That means uh, many of them, they tell that shloka, right? You should do your activity, but should not be attached to the phala of that activity. But then, how can we do that? By thinking you are not the doer. That people don't know. They think I am the doer. I made it. I made it myself. Then they tell I should not be attached to this. How can you do that? If you think you did it, that means uh, externally you did it, yes. But internally, do you really think that you yourself did? Do you have any capacity to do such big things? Right? It's not possible. It's not possible such big things to happen in your life. But then people think I did it. Then they tell you should not be attached to your activity. If you get attached, then it becomes very difficult for you. And the same people, they suicide after some days or some months, some years. Why? Because they thought they are the doers. And if when you think you are the doer, you start controlling your activities, or you start controlling the reactions of your activity. But activity can be in your control, but the reactions you can't control until you surrender to Krishna. Reactions will keep on coming unto you. But when we try to control, which is beyond our controlling capacity, we feel we feel depressed. We don't feel like doing anything, right? Why it is happening, Krishna? Why it is happening? Because it's happening. You should not be attached to that happening. That's what Krishna is telling that. Sorry. So Krishna is here. Krishna says that your activity is the fruits of activity should be given up, but then the activity should not be given up. Krishna says that the act of sacrifice, charity, penance are not to be given up and should be performed. Indeed, sacrifice, charity purifies even the great souls. All these activities should be performed without any expectations of a result. They should be performed as a matter of duty. That's my final opinion. Krishna says, it's your duty, then do it. Then do it. You're a student, studying is your duty, do it. But think you're not the doer. You have to do it as a duty, right? A soldier has to kill opposite soldiers. Either it's his own family members or anything. Why? Same situation even Arjuna is having, right? Why Krishna is saying? Because it's the duty of a soldier to fight for his country. It's the duty of Arjuna to fight for Krishna. That's why that's what his duty is, right? Nobody will hang him if he kills the soldier of opposite country or enemy country. Nobody kills the soldiers, right? That means you have killed, you have murdered that person. Nobody kills. Why? It was your duty, so you did it. So when you do your duty, there is no actually the karma coming back to you. But if you do it for yourself, then what happens? Then the karma will come to you. For example, the soldier, he fights for the country, and sometimes what happens, he might kill the opposite army people. But then when he comes to his own country, people will start giving medals to him, right? Oh, you saved our country. King will himself reward that soldier. But the same soldier, why king rewarded? Because it was the victory for a nation, right? Because it was his duty. He did his duty very well, so king rewarded him. The same soldier, he comes to his village and murders the neighbor. Will the king give reward to him? No. Why? He did it because of his own sense gratification, not as a duty. Did a king or any person tell him to kill that neighbor? No. He killed it because of his own, whatever the reason may be. He killed because of his own sense gratification, because it was not his duty, right? He might get hanged. The same soldier who got rewarded for fighting for a country and killing a enemy, the same person will get uh, death to hang, hang to death. if he kills his own neighbor. Why is that two different rewards for a same activity? Killing is the same activity, but there are two different rewards. Why is it? One, because it was your duty, so king rewarded you. Another duty, another activity of killing, which you did for the neighbor, it was for your sense gratification. So king will hang you till your death. Right? That's the two. What you tell. One is duty, one is sense gratification. Similarly, when we do as a duty, what happens? Krishna will reward us. That means there would be no karmic reactions coming to you. But the best duty of a living entity is to serve Krishna. That's his duty. That's not that, oh, I'll choose to go into spirituality. Spirituality is the duty of a soul. It has to do its duty, but we have forgotten. We are where? We are in the sense gratification. That's why we are getting so much trouble. When we realize spirituality is my duty, devotional service to Krishna is my duty, then karma won't affect us. Instead, Krishna will reward us. But we have forgotten it. We are doing sense gratification now. What is happening? Maya is troubling us, right? The three modes of material nature are troubling us. That's what Krishna is saying. Do it as a duty, then nothing will affect you. So prescribed duty, see here in the 18.7, prescribed duty, if you don't do, then it's illusion under the mode of ignorance. Under the mode of passion, what happens? You don't do your prescribed duty. In the mode of ignorance, in the tamas guna, you don't do your prescribed duty. Even in the rajo guna, you don't do your prescribed duty. You do sometime out of fear in rajo guna. For example, in exam times, there are some students who study to gain knowledge. Obviously, only one person may be there in the class, whole college, whole school, one person, such a student, or gem kind of a student who reads just for the knowledge, is not bothered about marks. We can't find such students. But let's take, he is in sattva guna because he is behind the duty. I am a student, I should learn. That's his duty. But then person in rajoguna, he really does not do his duty. A student's duty is to study for a knowledge. But then there are some students, top of the college, but then they read a day before exam because they get fear of exam. If I lose 1 marks, what will happen? If I lose 2 marks, I will go down. Right? That's in the mode of rajoguna. And in the mode of tamoguna, there are some people, some students, they don't even know the timetable has come. They're like, really? Exam? When? They'll start asking. You have experienced such people? They are in the mode of ignorance. That means they don't do it prescribed duty. That's their studying. And the reason is they are fully in illusion. They don't know when is exam, what is exam, they don't know. In Rajoguna, they don't do the prescribed duty. What is the prescribed duty of a student? To study. They don't do that. But when do they study? They study before the day of exam or before 1 week, 2 weeks, kind of. All of us are like that only. So Rajoguna it is. And in goodness, daily they go. They know that studying is their, what you tell, their duty, and they do the activities as a duty, not as a fear or illusion. And Krishna says, coming to the next part of chapter, in the 13 and 14, Krishna says about the 5 factors. Now, what are the 5 factors? For example, I'll give you. You got a land. You want to build a good building. Okay, you got some money. Now you want to build a nice building of 3-4 floors. Okay, so you started. You got a piece of land. Now, only a piece of land is enough for you? No. What you want? You want engineers, you want architects to see how is the land, how should be the structure and everything, right? And they start performing the activities. They do all the activities here. And just the activity is enough? You want some things to be done, no? Rods, iron, steel, and all of these are needed when you want to build a building. After that, what you want? You want some interiors, You want some brain, you have to work hard to come, to make a building. You really have to work hard. You have to use your senses. That means you have to use your working senses, acquiring senses, not just brain. You have to work with your legs, eyes, all these senses has to be worked. Then your brain has to work, the subtle energy also has to work, all the senses are working. But then there is something which we miss beyond all of this. That's the sanction of Lord. You got a land. How did you get? It was sanctioned by the Lord. You got some workers. How did you get? It was sanctioned by the Lord. These things, all the building structure and everything you got. Why you got? Because of the sanction of the Lord. But we forget Him itself. We do all the things here. We get money, we do all the construction, we do everything, but we forget the Lord who is behind all of this. Even to think, Krishna is giving us brain, giving us knowledge, right? Krishna has given us brain. Did you ask brain before birth? Everything was structured. Did Krishna forget? Oh, I missed your brain. Take, please take. After you took birth, he gave the brain? No. Everything was structured nicely, whatever you want, according to your karma and desire. Krishna gave you whatever you want. But we forget him. Every time we came, but we forgot. So here, Krishna says there are 5 factors. One is the place of action, like this land. You want some place. Now, I can't just walk. I just can't walk and tell you about this class. No, I have to sit. I want some place to keep my laptop. I want some place to sit. I want to, you also want some place to sit and listen to the class, right? There should be some suitable place. So you get a place. That's one factor. Another factor is that performer. I should be there, just not a laptop, just not a chair. I should be sitting there. I am the performer. You should be sitting in front of your mobile or laptop to hear. You're a performer there. No, you're using. Now, after a performer, you should use your senses, right? If I'm not using my mouth to speak, if I'm not using my eyes to see the PPTs, if I'm not using the tongue to speak, right? What is the use of sitting here? So the performer is there. Then what happens? The senses are there. You're hearing from your ears. Your brain is working, right? Your mind is working right now. Everything is working. You're there now. So that is senses. Then you endeavor. You try to understand. You work hard. Even small to small things. You have to work. No. So endeavoring. Then ultimately, who is the one who is giving all of these things? That's the super soul inside your heart. Each living entity has the heart, has the super soul in their heart that we just forget. So Krishna is like, that is also the ultimate is the super soul. If super soul is not sanctioning, if Paramatma is not sanctioning anything, not even a single blade of grass can move. We have heard this, no? But now Krishna is saying it's true. He's Anumanta. That means he is the one who gives you permission, who is the permitter, right? Who gives the permission. So therefore, who thinks himself only the doer, not considering the 5 factors, is certainly not very intelligent, cannot see things as they are. Now, for example, if I say, actually, I did this Zoom, I did this PPTs, I did it all this laptop and everything. I'm only the doer here. And there's nobody who worked for me. I am only the doer. Don't you think this, what kind of a girl? She's a foolish or what? To make all of these things, they need so many people to do these things. Normally, we think, right? You can't be alone the doer. There should be so many people behind you. But then we forget there is Krishna behind all of this. That's what Krishna says. You're not very intelligent to think that you're only the doer. There should be so many people. For example, Krishna says you should have a knowledge, right? You should have a knowledge of everything. Then the object of the knowledge. For example, this man, he should have a knowledge about throw ball. Then there should be a ball in front of him. That means the object of which you have the knowledge. Then the knower are the three factors. That means there are three factors. One is himself, he should be there, his senses should be working, okay, and does the comprise three folds of actions. That means one is the knowledge, one is the object of the knowledge, one is the senses from by which he is working all these actions. That means Krishna is saying you are you're comprised of all these three things. You should have the knowledge of something, and that something should be there in front of you. That means there's an object, or it may be a tangible, intangible, any kinds of object. You should have the object in front of your eyes, and then the three factors which motivates the action, the senses, the work, and the doer, comprises the threefold basis of action. So Krishna says the three kinds of knowledge based on the modes of material, right? We discussed the Rajo, Tamo, and the Sattva, Rajas, Tamas Guna in the 14th chapter. Do you remember? So the 14th chapter we discussed Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So here again Krishna is in the 18th chapter. As I told, he is concluding all the chapter, whatever he has done. So he's concluding these as well. He says that the knowledge which one undeviated spiritual nature is seen is in all existence. Undivided is in the divided is knowledge in the mode of goodness. That means he has the spiritual knowledge. Then the 21, Krishna says that the activity, the knowledge by which the different type of living entities are seen to be dwelling in different bodies is the knowledge in the mode of passion, and that of the knowledge which one is attached to one kind of work, as in all, without the knowledge of the truth, which is very meager, is said to be in the mode of darkness. That's the ignorance. As the action, now let's see the action. We knew the knowledge. One is spiritual knowledge, one who just sees the body, one who really does not see anything, he's just attached to oneself. And then the action of actions in the three modes. Let's see what is highlighted here, which is performed without attachment, without love or hate. That means he is not attached to the actions, that is in the mode of goodness. And here what happens in the passion, the false ego arises. That means ahankara. In the passion, what happens? It's the ahankara or the false ego will arrive because of the desires we have. And as we fulfill all the desires, we feel we are the doers. And in the ignorance, what happened? Delusion without considering of the future bondage. Like an animal. Animal, does it think in the future what will happen? For example, there is a sheep, sheep's lambs, and is tied to, after some days it will be cut into pieces and made it as a mutton or anything. So, but then before, like for example, chickens are there in the poultries. It is enjoying the grains, whatever is given to him. He is not thinking about the future. He is just eating for today. He is bound, he is eating, but then he does not really think about the future. And next day, the same person who gave him grain will cut his head. So Krishna says in the illusion, in the ignorance, what happens? Your actions are like that. You're not thinking about your future. You're causing injuries to yourself. So in the workers basis, what kind of a work you can do in the goodness? The work who is free from the worker. That means if I am doing the work in Sattva Guna, I'm free from all the material attachments. I'm enthusiastic to do some work, and who is indifferent from the success or failure. For example, the enthusiastic is very important. The enthusiasm only comes when you're in the mode of goodness. The enthusiasm also feel like, very good in the mode of passion. Also, to win certain things, we need passion. Rajoguna is needed. But then there, the enthusiasm will end with the distress. Here, enthusiasm won't be ending in the Sattva Guna. Sometimes we feel so happy in the morning after chanting, after meditating. That's in the mode of Sattva Guna. That kind of enthusiastic is needed in spiritual life. So then coming to the Rajoguna, what happens? Enviousness, impurity starts coming because of the attachment. And in the Tamoguna, what is it? It's the cheating, obstinate, and is lazy. So sometimes we feel so lazy, I don't want to get up. But then you have to do your duty. You have to get up. So lazy you might feel because, as I said, we are pulled by the three modes of material. Sometimes you're very happy, sometimes rash, sometimes dull. All this is there. Mood swings, right? But why is this mood swinging? It is also swinging us. It's the Maya who is swinging all the moods of us by the three modes of material nature. But Krishna says you have to get out of this mood swings. Then only you can really relish Krishna consciousness. So here, the intelligence, how should be the intelligence in Sattvaguna? Ought to be done, not to be done. That means he knows what is to be done and what is not to be done. And in Rajaguna, he really can't distinguish what is right or what is wrong for his life. In Tamoguna, he thinks that wrong things are right for him, right things are wrong for him. That means he's ulta. Okay. And determination, how is it? In Sattvaguna, what kind of a determination he has? It's full of, which is unbreakable, steadfastness by the yoga practice. That means uh, through yoga or why we are doing yoga? To control our mind, right? When his mind is full of control, then it's Sattvaguna. That means whatever you want, you are doing only that. You're not wasting your time in unnecessary things. And in passion, what happens? One holds fast to fruitive results in the religion. That means he is determined only for the results of that activity. And then in the mode of darkness or illusion, he cannot be beyond dreaming. That means he's only daydreaming. There are people who are just daydreaming and telling big things but doing none of the works. Such people are there. They're in the mode of ignorance. And what are the happiness? In the beginning, in Sattvaguna, what happens? In the beginning, it may feel like poison. And in the end, when you get the results, it's like nectar. Like, for example, you're getting up for chanting in the morning, you're sitting for chanting, but really you don't like chanting. After some rounds, like, let me throw this japa bag. I don't want to chant. I don't feel like chanting. My mind is so disturbed that this, sitting in one place, it's really a big task to sit in one place. We are so restless, but then still you sit because your teacher has told you have to sit and chant. You're sitting. It's like poison. But then after you get habit to chant, it's like nectar. You feel that nectar. That's only possible when you practice doing it without failing. And then in Rajoguna, what happens? In the beginning, you feel so happy, and in the end, it's actually the poison. For example, there are people who drink liquor and eat nonsense things. They feel so happy, pizza, burgers, they go out, fast food and everything. They eat all these nonsense things. But then, right, even we eat all these things. Outside we go, we eat. But then it feels so happy for us. Oh, we are enjoying. But then we get all sorts of diseases. That's like poison. So in Tamoguna, what happens? Both are poison. In the beginning also it's poison, ending also is poison because it's sleep, laziness, and illusion everywhere. So that knowledge by which one undivided spiritual nature is seen in the all living entity, though they are divided in innumerable forms, you should understand to be in the mode of goodness. That means once you know that we are not this body, we are souls. Yeah, basically this shloka is saying about we are not this body, we are souls. If you realize this, then you're in the mode of goodness. So we are very much far from the mode of goodness. Okay. So Krishna says again that the determination is unbreakable and sustained at the steadfastness by the yoga practice, which thus controls the activities of the mind, life, and the senses, is determined in the mode of goodness. So Krishna is saying about the determination here. So if you see the lifestyle of Prabhupada's lifestyle is so interesting because he he used to go for a morning walk, morning Mangalarti 4:30. Okay. After that, 4:30 to 7, they are busy with morning Mangalarti, chanting 7:30. And then in the middle, they go out, while chanting only, they go out for walk. Prabhupada used to go for a walk. And sometimes if you hear, there is a morning walk series of Prabhupada in the YouTube, if you can locate it. There's a morning walk series where Prabhupada used to go out, and the disciples used to record. Even there, Prabhupada was not sitting quiet or walking just quietly. He was preaching even there. He used to tell his disciples about so many things. And big people, they used to come in this time to ask questions to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada used to answer their questions. So the interesting conversation between Prabhupada and other disciples you can hear. So morning walk he used to go, and 8 o'clock he used to return. 8 o'clock Bhagavatam class, and 8 o'clock after Bhagavatam class, they go out and they have breakfast. They go out for preaching purpose, book distribution, and everything. And after lunch, okay, again Prabhupada, he is very busy all this time, morning 9 o'clock to evening. And when it comes to evening, what happens? People start visiting Prabhupada, because it's time to Prabhupada to take, just he was sitting. So people start coming there. They visit big, not small people. They are all professors of universities. All these professors used to come and speak to him about soul concept. All the scientists about the Vedic literature, they used to come and speak to Prabhupada. After that, evening Bhagavad Gita class at 7 p.m. Then after that, 8 p.m. they would have Krishna book or some books to read. And in the night, 9 o'clock, after hot milk, and everybody used to have a light dinner, and they used to sleep. And 10 o'clock, Prabhupada used to sharp sleep. And 12 o'clock, he used to get up. Sharp 12 o'clock, he used to get up in the night. And then he sits in his room and starts writing Bhagavad Gita, and every book. In that way, what we read today, Bhagavad Gita, it was written by him at the night 12 o'clock. Now you can ask, why Prabhupada chose at night 12 o'clock? Because daytime, because it's America. Everywhere today, what we see traffic today, it was at least 2 times more in America during that time. So much traffic and so much disturbance. So Prabhupada could not record, could not write in a peaceful, because Vedic literature you have to write in a very peaceful mind. And Prabhupada used to get indications from his spiritual masters how to write and everything. All books he used to refer 4-5 books and then write. So that much of determination to write about Krishna consciousness, to preach about Krishna consciousness. And 12 o'clock to 4:30, he used to write 4 o'clock, and then he takes a shower, and 4:30 again Mangalarati, and same routine he used to daily do. So how many hours he used to sleep? 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock, only 2 hours sleep. That's it. And he used to just work, and one disciple will be there. Like there will be routines every day. The disciples change. In the night, 12 o'clock to 4:30, they will be watching Prabhupada. If he wants some water, some hot water or something, they used to go and get it for Prabhupada. So 1-2 disciples will be standing at his doors. So other disciples will be sleeping. So even they had to, get awake for Prabhupada's work. So if you see this, there's a determination that only comes when you are in Sattva Guna. That determination only comes when you are in Sattva Guna. We feel now we are lazy. We feel doctors say 8 hours you are to sleep. But then really, do we need 8 hours sleep? Just 6 hours sleep is enough, 6 to 7 hours sleep. But then even 8 hours is some people, they feel so bad. 8 hours only, I want to sleep more. That's in the Tamoguna, So here, if you see, how the Prabhupada's lifestyle was. It was tightly packed. So much determination to preach about Krishna consciousness was there. So and then Krishna says about the qualities of all the ashramas. That's the which are the four ashramas: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. So Brahmana has these all qualities: peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, wisdom, knowledge, and religiousness. There are 9 qualities for Brahmana. If you are proving, some people say, no, I'm Brahmana, then you have to be in these 9 qualities. Do you have all these 9 qualities? First of all, in Kali Yuga, we don't have peacefulness. It's like Kaler dosha nide rajan. It's like doshas everywhere. So peacefulness first goes out. To become Brahmana, you should be peaceful in your mind, self-controlled, austere, purified. All these things are there. All these 9 qualities makes you Brahmana. Then Krishna says, what about the Kshatriyas? Kshatriyas have heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in the battle, generosity, and leadership. These all are qualities of a Kshatriya. Kshatriya can't be, now for Arjuna, Krishna can't tell that you should be peaceful, Arjuna, you should be these are things are there. He obviously, Arjuna is not in this Rajo Tamo Guna and all, he is in Shuddha Sattva Guna. But then if you see, the Kshatriya's qualities are these, right? Heroism. If he is not like a hero, if he's like, I'm so, so tolerate, so humble, people start using you. People start using you. Kshatriya should be of these qualities. He should be courageous in the battle. Nowadays, what is Kshatriya, what is so-called politics and everything are doing? They are sending the soldiers. They themselves they are not going, first of all. The president or the prime minister sends the soldier to die. But before, if you see, the kings personally used to go for fight. They personally, if they die, they don't care. They don't care of their life. They care more of their soldiers. That's why they used to first go. If you see all the battles in the past, the kings, they used to personally go for the war. But now in Kali Yuga, you can't see the heroism or power. Just for the show they are there, just for the show, but they are not really courageous. So here Krishna says about Vaishyas. Vaishyas just does not mean business. Krishna says there are 3 qualities. One is farming. You should have a farm, then you're a Vaishya. Then you should have a cattle raising. That means the cattle should be there in your house, cows, the bulls, and all of these animals should be there in your house. And out of that, whatever income you're getting, that by which you're doing business, that you are actually a Vaishya. If you have these 3 things, then you're a Vaishya. Now left is the Shudra. Now what is he doing? He is laboring under the 3 people. Either he is going to a Brahmana's home and working there, either he is going to Kshatriya's home and working there, either he is going to the Vaishya's home and working there. So Shudra means he is working. So in Kali Yuga, you think which part you are in. Because normally we go to the job. Harsh truth of Kali Yuga, but it's true that we are all Shudras. Kali Yuga is the Shudra civilization, actually to tell. Why? Because by birth, we all are Shudras only. We have to work under somebody. But then when you work under Krishna, that's different. Work under devotee, that's different. But we are working just for money, because Shudra, why he works? Just for money and to have some food in his stomach. We are working for that only, right? So Kali Yuga, it's full of Shudras. That's what even Bhagavatam says. So Krishna says, by worshipping the Lord, who is the source of all beings, who is all pervading, man can in the perform his own duty. So now, why did Krishna tell about Varnashrama Dharma? He told that all these people should work for Krishna. Brahmanas should speak to other people. Brahmanas are the top. They used to go and give knowledge to Kshatriyas. So Brahmanas should be knowing about Krishna. When he knows about Krishna, he can give knowledge to the Kshatriya about the Krishna. The Kshatriya has to fight. Kshatratrayati iti Kshatriya. One who saves the innocents are actually Kshatriyas. That means you can take your sword to save an innocent. Then you're a Kshatriya. Then what is about the Vaishyas? Vaishyas should know how to do business with loyalty and with whatever he gets money, he should know how to spend it for the Lord. That's Vaishya. He should know Goraksha. And Goraksha means what? To save the cows. Goraksha Vanijya. That's Vaishya. Then what about the Shudra? He should work under these three because Shudra by nature they are in Tamoguna. They don't know what is to be done. They don't know what Shudra, that is also a quality. It's not that I'm born in a Shudra family, I should be a Shudra. It's not there. Even a Brahmana's family, if you are born and if you don't know what is to be done, what is not to be done, you are not taught anything or you are not qualified to be taught anything, then you are actually a Shudra. Then you should work under these three people so that in this life or next life you will develop some knowledge about Lord. But then it does not mean all can be in one category. Krishna says everybody has their own occupation, right? If you tell the first to climb the tree is actually the winner. Who will climb the tree first? Obviously, a monkey will try to climb. No, elephant can climb, penguin can climb, the birds can fly and go on the top of tree. So here, and whatever the fish, it will die. Today's civilization, today's education system is something like this. All are made into one category and they want everybody to win in that same category. No personal choice are given. Okay. If you see in all your the primary books or high school books or any books, everything is just memorization. Is there anything about knowledge? Formulas you have to memorize, words you have to memorize, everything. So the person who has high memory power, he will be the toppest. No, you have so many skills, nobody will care about that. Only the memory power is cared. So it's like the same thing. They are trying to today's world, they are trying to get something from different kind of people. They can get so many varieties of things, but they are not expecting that. They want everything to be like equal. Or sometimes we feel that, oh, his job is very nice than me, and the opposite person, he may think, oh, his job is very nice than me. But everybody has their own struggle, different struggle. We don't know that. So one is that everybody has their own struggle. We can't compare to each other. We can't actually compare to each other. And secondly, that we should not see everybody in the same criteria. Everybody has their own individual development. So Krishna says one can obtain the results of renunciation simply by self control and becoming unattached to the material things and disregarding the material enjoyment. That is the highest perfection of perfectional stage and of the renunciation. Brahmabhuta prasannatma nashocati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labate param. One who is thus transcendental situated at the once realizes that the Supreme Brahman, he never laments nor desires for having anything. He is equally disposed to every living entity in the state he attains the pure devotional service unto me. He sees everybody's heart, there is Paramatma, right? So that's what a great person sees. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavanyaschami tatvatah tato me tatvato jnana vishate tat anantaram. So Krishna says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati. How can you know about Krishna? That everybody wants to know about Krishna. That's why they are going to various sources. Somebody is going to serials, somebody is going to the movies, somebody is going to some bogus gurus, somebody is going to the frauds. All these peoples are going. But Krishna says, everybody wants to know about me. Everybody wants to know about the supreme truth, the supreme power, supreme energy. But how can we really know? Krishna is saying what? Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Only by the devotional service one can know about me. Everybody is trying to know about that supreme energy. But everybody is limited. But when Krishna himself reveals about himself, see, for example, you want to know about me. You can ask various people about me. Okay, you can ask hundreds of people who have been engaged with me, associated with me. They can tell some limited points about me. You can collect all the. That's how the biographies are done. No, you go to various people and collect incidents from them. Collect from them what happens. You come to know about certain character about that person. Until I reveal myself about myself to you, you can't really know about me. Whatever you do, right? Until what is in my heart I reveal to you, till then you can't actually understand nothing about me. Similarly, you may go to so many sources to know about Krishna, but until Krishna reveals himself to you, you can't really understand who is Krishna. So how does Krishna reveals himself to you? What does Krishna says? I will give you the intelligence. Buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayantite. After understanding me, I'll give you, that means I will give you the understand that who I am. I'll give you that brain. I'll give you that buddhi yoga by which you can understand me. Bhaktyamam abhijanati. Only by the devotional service one can understand me. That's what the plus point of doing devotional service, that you are easily accepted by Krishna, and Krishna himself will reveal how you can come to him. So Krishna says, Sarva karmani api sada kurvano mad vyapashraya mat prasada avapnoti shashvatam padamavyayam. Thoughts engaged in all kinds of activities, my devotees under the perfection reaches the eternal and imperishable abode of my soul. So who will reveal to me? Reveal. That's the pure devotee of the Lord. Machchitta sarva durgani matprasadatri atachetvam ahankara nashroshayati vinakshati. So Krishna says, if you become conscious of me, mat chitta, Krishna consciousness, become conscious of me who? Krishna. If you become Krishna conscious, what happens? You will pass over all the obstacles, conditional life by my grace. Krishna says, it's only possible my grace. Prasadat. Prasada means what? Mercy. So the biggest element for you to be in successful devotional service is the mercy of Krishna and Guru. If you don't have mercy of Krishna, whatever you try, you can't get Krishna's lotus feet. And to get that Krishna's mercy, you should get the mercy of a devotee, right? Did Americans, did New York people, did the people all over the world, did we ourselves have any clue about Krishna? We knew. Indians, they know Krishna and Rama, they read about Mahabharata, Ramayana. Did we really know about all these secrets about Krishna that he revealed in this Bhagavad Gita? Did we really know? Who gave us? That's Prabhupada. In his purpose, he has explained so nicely about Krishna that you feel convinced in Krishna consciousness. So so Krishna says, but through false ego, because we are in ahankara, we are not able to hear about Krishna. We feel, how is it possible? Why Krishna is telling like this? Why Krishna is telling like this? We feel because of our ahankara. I think we are the same souls. We were in Goloka. We know all these things. We know all these things what Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita. But why is such doubts? Why Krishna said, who is Krishna to tell? Why these questions are coming in our mind? Because of ahankara, because of association of Maya. So the Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart. Hridadeshe Arjuna Tishtati. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hridadeshe Arjuna Tishtati. So Krishna says, I am in the heart of every living entity, O Arjuna, and is directing the wandering of all living entities who are seated as on the machine made of material energy. So Krishna says this body is like a material energy machine. Okay, we are sitting inside it. Again, Krishna says about his mercy. What is it? O saints of Bharata, surrendered unto him utterly. Who is him here means? Here, him means the Paramatma or the super soul. Now, Krishna was speaking about super soul, right? So, Krishna is mentioning that super soul. So, if you surrender to him, like the super soul in your heart, by his grace, you will attain the transcendental peace and the supreme and the eternal abode. As I said in the previous class, also somebody asked about Diksha. I told the super soul inside your heart, when he sees the eagerness to understand about Krishna, he comes out of the mercy as what? Spiritual master, as a guru, right? He is Chaitya Guru inside our heart. That's what Krishna is saying. When you utterly surrender to him, Krishna, I really want to know about you. What happens? Krishna comes out as the spiritual master. So here Krishna says, thus I have explained the most confidential knowledge. Deliberate on this fully, then do what you wish. I told Krishna will never force us. Yatechasi tata kuru. Krishna is telling Arjuna, whatever I have told, whatever I had to tell Arjuna, I have told you. Now, whatever you want, you can do. Krishna is like free will. I'm giving you free choice, Arjuna. I have told 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Now it's free will. The same free will Krishna is giving to us in our life. I have told everything in your life, my dear. Now it's your choice. So Krishna is giving that choice to us. So let's see what Arjuna told. So as I told in the first class of Bhagavad Gita, whatever Arjuna has told, if we are convinced like Arjuna, then we have really understood Bhagavad Gita. What does Arjuna tell here? Arjuna uvacha nastamoha smritir labda tvam prasadan maya chuta stitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. What is nastamoha smritir labdha? Now Krishna, Arjuna is telling, my dear Krishna, all the illusion is gone away. Now, all the illusion, whatever I had in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, everything is gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. Prasadhan, again the mercy component has come. And I now, firm and free from all the doubts, I am prepared to act according to your instruction. What does Arjuna is telling here? Karishye vachanam tava. So if after reading, after understanding Bhagavad Gita, if our words are like Arjuna, then whatever Krishna tells I'm doing from now, I'll start offering to Krishna. I'll chant about Krishna, right? Krishna told Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. I have to chant about Krishna. I have to speak about Krishna. I have to read Krishna's words and all of this. If you think, if you feel this, then you have really understood what Arjuna has understood. So here Krishna says, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame veshasi satyam te pratijaneti priyosi me. The second time the same shloka has come. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame veshase prapadyante. Right? Last time it was prapadyante, Krishna told. Now Krishna is telling, mame veshase satyam te pratijane priyosi me. If you surrender to me, always think about me. Manmana, always think about me. I have given this mind to think about me, Arjuna. So think. And next is Mad Bhakto, become my devotee. Madhya Jimam Namaskuru. Worship me and offer the homage unto me. What happens if you do that? Thus will come to me without fail. I promise you. Now Arjuna, Krishna is promising Arjuna. Why Krishna is promising Arjuna? Pratijane priyose, because you are very dear to me, Arjuna. So Krishna is saying, Arjuna, you are very dear to me. Don't you feel like if Krishna tells to me how nice it will be? Don't you feel that? The same Krishna, if he comes and tells, oh my dear son, you are very dear to me. Please, you have to, if you do these things, you become so dear to me. Won't you start doing that every moment? Won't you start remembering about Krishna every moment? Because you want to be dear to Krishna. We want to become dear to so many people. We want to become dear to the Lord, this whole world. Don't we want to become dear to that same Lord? So this is the best process to become, attached to the Lord. So Krishna says in the 18.66, सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचा. Sarvadharman parityaja. Now the main instruction of Krishna is coming. What is it? Sarvadharman parityaja. Whatever kinds of religion you have, right? We discussed the 6 kinds of religion. And the best religion we said, that's parodharma. That's in the activity of Krishna. So Krishna says whatever dharma is there, that means sarvadharman parityaja. You leave all your activities. That means not the activities he is telling. He is telling about dharma. That means whatever religion, I'm the son, I'm the daughter, I'm the that, I'm this. Leave everything. What you should do? Mam ekam sharanam raja. You have to take only shelter of me now. Ekam is very stressed here. Krishna is not telling you have to take that shelter, that person's shelter. After that, you have to take this person's shelter. And after that, you have to take another person's over there. There is another person. You have to take his shelter and then you have to come to me. No, Krishna is not telling that. Krishna is telling what? Directly come to me. Don't go here and there. Directly come to me. I have done this world. I know how you are. I know more than what you know about yourself. Right? You have to come to me. Krishna is telling, Sharan Ekam. Only me. Nobody else. So Krishna is stressing this word. And then Krishna says what? Aham tom sarva papebhyo. He is not telling aham tvam only this papebhyo, that papebhyo. He is not telling. He is what is telling? Sarva papebhyo. Whatever you have done in your life, this life, past 100, 1,000, millions of life, everything is vanished in 1 second. Moksha ishyami mashucha. If you do this, I will give you moksha. Yesterday somebody was asking, right? What if we after we die, do we get moksha? Why we should even die? Krishna is telling, you have to surrender to me. I'll give you moksha. So you have to just do this. So easy work. But then the desire should be there. The desire is the biggest thing. We have so many other desires in this material world, but we forget Krishna, right? So to come to that platform, surrendering is 1 second business. Gajendra surrendered in 1 second. Did he think about what you tell, muhurta or something? Oh, this muhurta, it's not good. I should surrender at 10 o'clock at this moment. No, I should surrender 5 o'clock. Did he take muhurta? Did he see which day I should surrender at Tuesday, Wednesday? Did he see that? No, nothing, no criteria. He just surrendered for 1 second and he saw the Lord, right? He just saw the Lord in front of his eyes. Why? That surrenderness was there. Draupadi, she did not think I should shout loudly or in the mind, or how should I shout? She did not think. She just shouted out of surrenderness. Oh Govinda, she just told that out of surrender. So surrender need not be like how many long years you should take. Surrender is just 1 second. But before that surrender, what we desire, that should be clear. Do we desire Krishna in our heart or not? That should be main. So Krishna says, Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami mashucha. I'll give you the liberation. You have to just come to me, not go anywhere else. I am the father. Aham bija pradapita. I am your father. You should come to me, not to uncles or aunts. You should come to me. I am your parent. I know more about you, right? Your parents know more about you than you yourself. So think Krishna is the supreme parent. Doesn't he know anything about you? Anything is secret from him? Nothing. He knows everything, whatever you have done, not just this life. Your parents might know only about this life. Krishna knows about your millions of life. No? So Krishna is telling, Sharan Ekam, only me, you come to me, that's enough. And how do we start that? By chanting the holy name of Krishna. First is Nama. Then comes his Rupa, Guna, Leela, and all of that. First is Nama. You should take the shelter of the holy name. So, so Krishna says, this confidential knowledge may not be explained to those who are not austere and devoted or engaged in the devotional service and not too very envious of me. So, again, you got a chance to congratulate yourself. You are austere and devoted because you came to 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. So, Krishna says that the only person who stays till the end is actually the austere and devoted to me. So, you are blessed by Krishna by now because you heard these 18 days, right? So Krishna is like, they are so dear to me. Whoever hears about Bhagavad Gita is so dear to me. So one level you have passed, that you are now devote to Krishna. You have become dear to Krishna by now. A level of dearness has come by Krishna. You are now appreciated by Krishna. So Krishna says, don't tell to those people who are envious, who don't want to listen to you. Don't tell these things. Instead, what you can do, for one who explains the supreme secret to the devotees. So only to the devotees, devotional service is guaranteed. At the end, he will come back to me. So you all are devotees of Lord. You have to appreciate yourself, because Krishna says that only devotee can understand. Devotee can stay till the end. Not everybody can stay. They may come. So many people may come. Even today, there are so many people in the group, but not everybody will come to the class, right? So that's the thing Krishna says. So there is no servant. So Krishna says, you want to become servant, right, of Krishna. You want to become servant. That's what Jivara Swarupa Krishna Nitya Krishna Dasa. But then Krishna says, there are various servants of mine, but then there is no servant in this whole world who is more dear to me than he, nor he will ever be more dear. That means Krishna is saying that one who knows, one who says the secret of Bhagavad Gita to another devotee. Obviously, devotees know about these secrets. And then Krishna is telling, if you bring so many people and make them devotees, we have forgotten about devotional service. Prabhupada used to tell, all are devotees of the Lord. Why? Some have forgotten Krishna, some are remembering Krishna. Right? We all the devotees of the Lord. We all came from the same Goloka. But some are remembering about the Lord. Some are just forgetting about the Lord. All are devotees. So Krishna is like one who tells the secret to the devotees, either the one who is remembering Krishna or one who has forgotten. You're trying to bring them to Krishna consciousness. They are very more dear to me. So you got a chance now. Somebody shared you the link to come to this class, right? Somebody had shared. That means that person is already a devotee. So now you have become a devotee of the Lord. Now you have to share these classes, like you have to share an upcoming batch, don't you want all people to come to this class and listen about Krishna? Don't you feel so happy while listening about Krishna? So if you share, if you bring so many people, if you give Bhagavad Gita to others, Krishna tells, that's more dear to me. That's why Prabhupada emphasized on preaching. Prabhupada emphasized on giving, distributing books. He wanted everyone to become dear to Krishna, right? Krishna says, and I declare that he who studies the secret conversation worships me by his intelligence. There are people who just keep Bhagavad Gita and worship the outer cover of Bhagavad Gita. But how to really worship Bhagavad Gita? By reading Bhagavad Gita. That we don't know. Many of them, they keep in a red cover inside a, cupboard where Lord is kept, all these places. And they keep that covered. They just put a agarbatti and keep in the side. That's it. But Krishna says that's not the worship of Bhagavad Gita. If you want to worship Bhagavad Gita, then you have to read Bhagavad Gita. That's the biggest worship you can do for Krishna. So Krishna says here, and one who listens comes free from sinful reactions and attains the planet of the. That means you all have passed this criteria if you have listened to the class very attentively with faith. So what does Sanjay says? Thus I have heard this conversation under that is that message in the end. By the mercy of Vyasa. Now, many of them might have question: how did Sanjaya got that Divya Drishti? How did Sanjaya get the Divya Drishti? So here he himself reveals that by the mercy of Vyasa, because Vyasadev gave him. Vyasa is none other than Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa. He is Krishna himself, the Shakyavish avatar of Krishna, Vyasa, right? He gave the divine eyes to Sanjaya. So by the mercy of Vyasa, I have heard these most confidential talk directly from the master of mysticism, Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjuna. O king, as I repeatedly recall this wondrous and holy dialogues between Krishna and Arjuna, I take pleasure being thrilled at every moment. O king, when I remember the wonderful form of Lord Krishna, I am struck with even greater wonder and I rejoice again and again. So here Krishna, here ultimately Sanjaya says, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishno, Yatra Partho Dhanurtara, Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir, Druvani Tirmatir Mama. So you can all repeat the shloka. Okay. Yatra Yogeshwaro Krishna.
Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna.
Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara.
Yatra Partho Dhanodhara.
Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir.
Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir.
Druvani Tirmatir Mama.
Dhruvani Tirmatir Mama.
Yes. Hari bol to all of you. So you have said this shloka. Now, what is the meaning of this shloka? Krishna says, wherever, Sanjaya says, wherever Krishna is there, who is Krishna? Yogeshwara Krishna. He is the master of all mysticism. And wherever there is Partho Dhanurdhara, that means the supreme archer, Arjuna, there will be certainly the opulence. Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir, Druvani Tirmatir Mama. Opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and the morality. That is my opinion. So Sanjaya gave his opinion. So what is your opinion on Bhagavad Gita? What did you learn from Bhagavad Gita? You can unmute and tell. Okay. You can unmute, you can write on the chat. What did you? So we concluded the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Now, please tell, what did you learn? What did you experience while learning all these 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita? What are your experience? Yes, Harshita is telling that only by chanting we can reach Krishna. Very good. You learned this. Yes. What about others? What did you learn something new in this chapter, in this whole Bhagavad Gita session? What was your experience? That will help us to know more. I learned, rather it exposed my mistake. Okay, yes. Yes, what about others? Anybody can unmute and tell. We learn we must was unbelievable that we came more closer to Krishna by listening to Krishna. Yes, you have become more closer to Krishna. That's true. Yes, Sairaj Pillai.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, before coming to this class, what used to happen? Like whenever I used to do something good and did not get the result of it, I used to become very sad. यार इतना सब कुछ किया है but then I'm not getting the results. But after coming to this, and especially after the second class where Bhagavan says Arjun that do your result in a right way, results are your supplementary things. So after that my perspective towards doing things have literally changed.
Oh yeah, very nice. Karma yoga, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes. That's the main thing, no? We get attached to the work, results of the work. That's why many of them they go to depression and all of that. So now you understood. So very good. Yes. Yeah, we are not the soul. We are the souls, not this material body. Yes, Harshita has told another point. Very good. So I hope everybody is doing all the quizzes. You will get all the certificates. So already the level 2 links have been shared to your group. So you can join the level 2 classes. And there are books available from ISKCON Mangalore. If you don't have some books, you can purchase the books from ISKCON Mangalore. And the delivery charges and everything is included. You will get a bead bag, chanting beads, and all of that. Okay. Yes, always try to be in Sattva Guna. Yes, that's very important to be in Sattva Guna, right? Follow your diet um, and prioritize most of your time to Krishna. What happens? Your mind will become stable for some, and then only when your mind is stable, you can jump to Krishna. So start with this. Start with chanting. It's very good. If you chant, it's very good. It feels so fresh. But try to chant more about Krishna. As you go through these levels and everything, you feel like chanting more. Okay. So if you're chanting one round, you can increase to 2, 3, and all of that as per your convenience. So slowly go forward, chant, and if possible, let's see if any classes are there, other classes, I'll share the link. Other subsequent classes like Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, other Bhagavad Gita classes are there. I'll share the link to you all. So simultaneously for these some days, you can join there. Okay. Yes. Okay. Hare Krishna, everyone. Last. It's all Prabhupada. Actually, I wish everybody starts reading Prabhupada books and understand about Prabhupada, the Bhagavad Gita book. It really helps. Whatever we are telling, it's not our own. It's all Prabhupada who has written in his books. So all these contents, what we take in these classes are all Prabhupada's book. Okay. So start reading about Prabhupada, the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. You'll clearly understand more. Whatever doubts you have, you can just clear when you start reading. I hope everybody is having Bhagavad Gita as it is book of Prabhupada, written by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. If you don't have, purchase it uh, either from our temple, ISKCON Mangalore, or you can purchase it from Amazon or any website you can purchase. So you'll get. So it's best book to purchase. And if you have, start gifting, start distributing to others. Tell whatever you have learned to others and start giving them, right? Krishna told the person who tells others about him is very dear. So bring more people to this course, tell about others to about this course. And next course is starting on the 6th of February. So just one week, one and a half week maybe. So start bringing more people. To adults, there are adults, children, there is youth. So you can give more reach to all other people. So yes. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna. So Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. Hare Krishna, and thank you so much for your wonderful cooperation for these 18 days, and wish that we'll further come in contact some other classes. Okay. Yes. Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. If any doubts or if any help you want, you can message me anytime. Okay. Yes. Stay connected in WhatsApp or anything. If you want something, we'll sure send you.